Hello, namaste, and welcome to Nekagrata. I'm your host, Mark Caratanudo, sitting here joined by the founder of Nekagrata, Neha Bhatia. We're enjoying Rishikesh, sitting out by the Ganges River, and we were just talking about pattern transformation, the last module. Now, Neha described an example to me of pattern transformation. Now, when we get used to a certain password to unlock our phones, it becomes automatically imprinted in our brain. When we change the password, initially we may want to go back to the old pattern that we were using. Now, after a certain amount of times of programming our brain correctly to use the right password, we've then programmed our brain. This is similar to pattern transformation. So please, if this interests you, come and join a class. Today we will be going a bit deeper and learning about creating contributors to NLP, training the trainers. Neha, everyone has a desire to help. How are you helping to create an ease of helping others? Are there ways of adding financial impact? And how are you helping with this program?
Yeah, Mark, like you said, everybody wants to help others. That's in our human nature. But sometimes what happens is we don't have the right technique, we don't have the right approach, and sometimes we also set up expectations. We help so much, and later what happens is if we don't get something in return, then we start to expect or we start to feel that wish I wouldn't have helped that much. And this is also one of the qualities that a lot of people have. So how you can become a little balanced and how you can actually contribute in the world and yet get something in return. I'm not just saying that you'll earn money out of it. Of course you're earning money out of it, you're becoming a life coach, but more than that, you're getting a biggest satisfaction with the right approach. I'm a certified coach, and when I'm training people, I'm not just training them for their mind, I'm training them for other minds as well.
Great.
Yes.
So what do you see as the long-term impact of creating contributors with NLP through Nekagrata?
Yeah. So what happens is, here's a catch. I became a contributor, and there are many people who becomes a contributor. They learn NLP, they want to go forward. But what happens is, I feel it sometimes gets a bit lost, People are just diverted here and there. But with me, I give them personal sessions. I'm their personal mentor. So even after when they finish their workshop, I am with them to guide them as to how they can go forward in their life and as to how they can train people others. One more catch here is, I'm pretty excited about this workshop because they don't become a coach by attending my workshop of 20 hours. But they become a coach within that only. Yeah. So I start to give them some assignments in between so that they can start to practice all what they're learning. It's not just about you learn in 5 days and then implement after a few days.
Sure.
But I make them learn within 15 to 20 days.
Okay.
And it's a combination of 20 hours, 25 hours, depending on how many questions people have, how many questions my trainees have, and how long it would take. But 20-25 hours is the ideal time that I finish the workshop in. And they can just sit at home and they can tell me what slot they want. So they can take a 2-hour workshop and complete one module from them, or maybe the second module after 3 days. So initially I don't take a gap, but later I start to give a gap to them in this workshop so that they start to apply not just on themselves but on others as well. And they get a practice of how to deal with people. That's one thing. Second thing, a lot of people come to me and say, Neha, you know what, I went up to this client, but all of a sudden after listening to his story, I also became very emotional. So I train them to become a little detached from others, dispassionate from others. So there is a little spiritual aspect as well. I'm not teaching them spirituality, I'm giving them all the logics, what Mr. Richard Bandler has taught us, the founder of NLP. But at the same time, my point here is they should become detached. There should be a wall around so that they're not affected by other people's situations out there, So it's pretty interesting. They grow and they're making others grow. And now what happens is, let's say this is my country, India, and let's say we have certain states, and if I'm creating one contributor in one city, they can further they can further contribute and create more leaders out there. So this is how they are just moving forward and creating more and more leaders amongst
I
themselves.
see. So you're creating a compounding web of leaders who you train and then go on to train other leaders wherever they live.
Absolutely.
Or digitally, since it's all available online.
Absolutely. And you know, with this you can save your time. With this you can of course save your money. And I stay in Delhi, and Delhi is a big rush, you know.
Yes, it is.
You know, from one point to another, we even sometimes from one street to another, it might just take a little time because of
Okay.
the traffic, or maybe whatever reason. You know, we are always running, we are always rushing. But here they can just sit and relax, and people have a lot of other priorities as well. So they can set their priorities accordingly. My session starts from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. So any slot that a person wants to take for 1.5 hours, they can take, and at the same time they can just come become a coach within 15-20 days.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's great that you leave a good amount of time between 15 and 20 days for a person to develop the habit over time. This is very important.
Yeah.
Now, as a leader, do your followers continue to stay with you? Or when you create them as a leader, what is their course from then on and their relationship with you?
All right, so here I would like to tell you that these people who I'm creating, you know, they come as an XYZ person, and when they go back as a brand new version of themselves. They came back as XYZ, and they're going back as a life coach. You know, they will be coaching people, so they go back with a bigger perspective. If I make them my follower, then they'll always be stuck with me. Like I said, I'm asking them, or I'm making them be very detached. So what do you think? Am I not detached? I also have to move further. You know, there's a huge population out there, and if I have to train so many people, I have to keep moving, keep creating leaders, so that further they can create leaders.
Exactly.
The point here is, maybe I might like followers on Instagram and Facebook, but in my life I'm just creating leaders.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And further they can further create leaders. That's
Great.
it. And one more thing I'd like to add here, you know, in India we say that if you get a guru in your life, if you get a coach in your life, let's say if you have to go from that point till that point, it might take, let's say, 10 minutes to walk. But if there's a guru, if there's a coach in your life, if there's a proper guidance in your life, it might just take 2 minutes. So you're saving a lot of time by having a mentor. At the same time, a lot of people say that I'm struggling, and you know, I've struggled a lot. Yes, with the mentor, you will never ever struggle. So I'm creating mentors for people so that their journey becomes a little easier, yet they are becoming strong. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to go to the mountain and keep pushing it on your own. You can take the help sometimes. Sometimes you can do it just to check your strength. But later, if there is somebody around, you can take help. It's always good, and you're not really taking help from somebody. But at the end of the day, we all are interdependent. The only problems come when we start to call ourselves independent. So when they go out, they become independent, yet they are interdependent.
Okay.
You know?
Yes.
So this is quite interesting and important for them to understand. And I make them very clear just before they finish the workshop that I'm going to be there with you, but a time will come when you have to just be on your own. You are the master of your own life.
Great. Well, it's very understandable to see how far of a reach NLP and Insight to Sight can have. So I'm excited to see where you take this and how your compounding web of trainers will grow.
Yeah, also when I say compounding, so I'm not just talking about India. I do have international clients as well.
Yes.
You know, wherever I can manage, and yes, there is a little challenge in the time zone, but I'm usually able to manage 1 or 2 clients a month internationally. So my idea is to reach out to the world, not just create contributors in my own country, or not in my own society. You know, I don't want to be selfish.
Well, keep on reaching, and maybe I'll get some of my compatriots from the States to join.
Sure, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So it seems like creating contributors is an extremely important part of helping make the world a better place. If you have any interest in helping give, create your own happiness at the same time and keep on giving to others, then please contact Neha. Thank you for joining us here today, and we'll see them on the next video. Discover your milestones. Look at the mountains, look at the Ganga River. They contribute in one cycle that works and gives and takes and keeps going. Do you think that you can be like the river in the mountains and contribute without asking for anything in return, yet receiving? Please join Creating Contributors and let's see how we can contribute together.